very different within the Amish community. We're very conservative, and everything is supposed to bring you closer to God.
But when things don't go like they should, that's where we step in and help out.
I'm just a guy who's willing to do stuff for people.
The Bible says it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Yes, there really is an Amish Mafia.
Amish Mafia, series premiere, Wednesday, December 12th at 9 on Discovery.
An Amish Mafia? Huh? Okay. I wanted to do another little short video here on this thing, this idiotic reality show. I didn't even know about this thing just till doing this study on the Amish, and I'm looking up any videos I can find on Amish cult. And again, if you haven't seen the introduction, I'll just explain briefly. I was born and raised in Lancaster County. My ancestors go way back. We were there before a lot of the Amish even showed up. My ancestors on my father's side were Mennonite. So I'm from the county. I was born and raised there, so don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And this, I clicked on this one episode. It's an eye for an eye, and they go into this thing, this buggy has been hit by a hit and run thing, and the one guy, he gets in his vehicle, and he drives to this scene of the crime thing. And right here, this one scene, you can kind of see it here. I'll put it up on screen for you. This is a road called Iva Road. Now, Iva Road comes right off of Peach Lane, down below Strasburg, all right? And this farm right here, there's a kind of a red brick house here, white barn over here, there's another house down there. This farm, if these fields right there, you go up through those fields, that's where I was born and raised, all right? I know this road very, very well, okay? I used to ride dirt bike and stuff in the area. I'd ride through the fields and my ATVs and stuff. I'll talk about that more in just a minute. But this road is like, I mean, literally neighborhood road for me growing up. And I lived there for 25 years. I lived at Peach Lane down there. So, you know, it's kind of funny, and it's interesting because this one house down here, not the red brick one or this white place, but down here on the corner, there was another little road. I can't remember the name of it, but it went down here, down to 897, and then there was Roars Mill Road was the next road up to the right. But this road down there, there was a house on the corner. It was a little white house, and they were all like very much deformed Amish, and we used to, you know, they were like mostly midgets and stuff like this, and you know, really small little people and things, and it was because of inbreeding. And the farm that was up through the fields here, up in the valley, which was actually featured in a BBC documentary about the Lapps, that they actually bought the farm. The Amish that had it when I was little, they actually had a boy that had some real serious mental problems, and I don't remember if it was them or another one, but they kept him locked up in the house, like in the attic or something like this. And he got out and he was going around doing weird things in the neighborhood. Again, the Amish have a lot of problems, a lot of issues. But I just thought this was so funny. This is, I mean, Hollywood will stoop to any low to make a buck, basically. And this Amish Mafia thing is the most insane, ridiculous bunch of nonsense. There is no Amish Mafia, okay? Now, if you've seen the study on the Amish Deception book by David Yoder. David Yoder was actually Amish, born and raised Amish, and left it. But he goes into the thing that the Amish work with the law. There's a lot of tie-ins there. So they do get away with murder, but it's not because they have some kind of a special mafia that goes around and enforces things against people that wrong the Amish. That's nonsense. You know, and I know as a fact that a lot of kids from my high school would vandalize Amish property regularly, and there was no mafia coming after them, you know. And, you know, again, me, growing up, I mean, we were always riding our ATVs and stuff, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, dirt bikes. I mean, we'd be going through Amish fields and stuff, and a lot of times they'd come out, they didn't want us in their fields, and they'd be yelling, we'd cruise off someplace, you know, whatever. And there was no mafia that came after us, you know. And there were times I tried to be polite to the Amish and some of our neighbors, and we'd actually go up and, hey, do you mind if we ride over here or whatever else on your property? And a lot of times they were okay with that. So I'm not saying I was totally mean and horrible to the Amish. And I'm not doing these videos to be, to be mean to Amish people and show that I hate them. I don't. I'm doing this to try and get Amish out of the system. But an interesting article here, a look at the real people behind the characters of Amish Mafia. And 4 of them there have mugshots, They're criminals, which is like, they're criminals only because they left the Amish. If they'd have stayed in the Amish, then they would not have been criminals. You don't get prosecuted. But I thought it was interesting here, the very first paragraph talks about Stephen Echternock. Stephen Echternock was my friend Jason Echternock, one of my high school, actually friend the whole way growing up. And we graduated in 1994 from Pequay Valley High School. And Stephen was Jason's uncle. And I remember the one time we were at, there used to be a bowling alley in Strasburg, Garden Spot Bowling, I think it was called. And I think it burned down now, last I heard, because I wasn't living down in the southern part of Lancaster County when I moved up here to Maine. But I remember this one time we're there at Strasburg Bowling Alley, and we're playing this arcade game, Jason and myself, and all of a sudden this guy pushes us from behind, and we both spin around like, what's going on? Like we're going to start a fight or something. What's happening here? And here's his uncle, this police officer, and he's laughing. He thought that was funny. He was a fairly nice guy. But just read a couple things from this article. It says here the 2 local cops, our district attorney, Craig Stedman's liaison, I can't even say the word, liaisons to the Amish community, working with local Anabaptist groups on crimes of all sorts. In other words, Stephen Echternock and Jonathan Heiss, or Heisey, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name there, but he says here, I can say with absolute certainty that what I'm seeing on Discovery Channel is an exploitation of the Amish culture. Echternock, Strasburg's police chief, said this week. It is not a complete blatant lie, but the characterization is very misrepresentative. And he's absolutely right. It is a complete lie. It's complete fabrication. It's stupid nonsense. And of course the guy's driving, this big old truck, this big, like, real nice truck or something, and, that the Amish are going to deal with him. If he was doing that, they'd shun him, and they wouldn't have anything to do with the guy. There is no Amish Mafia. What a bunch of nonsense. But the next page it says, we were told they don't go to the police, said Dolores Gavin, the show's executive producer. We stand by these stories and this series as factual and accurate. I saw another video on YouTube where they were actually saying that these city people that produced the show, New York City or from Hollywood or wherever, Los Angeles, and they're like, oh no, it's actually true. This is all, factual and everything else. Just a total lie. But the next page it says, some of them have been arrested, that's real, but that doesn't make them Amish, Echternock said. A check with local police and court records shows only arrests for minor, non-violent crimes. Stoltzfus, for example, has been arrested for DUI 3 times and for summary counts of disorderly conduct and public drunkenness. So one of the stars of the show, he's not Amish. None of them are Amish. But see, people are so gullible right now, and there's this, I believe, a conspiracy within the Vatican, this desire to promote these cult groups like the Amish. And that's why you see a lot of reality TV shows and things, and because the Amish are kind of the, what they want, I believe, for all people. They want this communitarian thing where people are living in communes and they have no say but what the hierarchy tells them. That's the purpose of this show, to promote the Amish culture. And I realize that it's they make it look somewhat bad or negative or whatever else, but it's still it's drumming up interest in the Amish system. And people get fed up with technology. I mean, there's a book out, Better Off Flipping the Switch on Technology by Eric Brend, and he's a Roman Catholic and he goes to live with Amish. The Amish up here in Smyrna, Maine. Interesting. And there was another article. I actually have it. Actually, I'll show it here to you. This is America Magazine, the National Catholic Review. It's a Jesuit magazine. Okay? Jesuit magazine. And it's about a Catholic moving and living among the Amish of Lancaster County. I'm talking about how you can learn such neat things from the Amish, and it's a great culture and all this other stuff. If you're Amish and you're watching this thing, you need to get saved in a hurry. And once you get saved, and get saved before you try to get out of the Amish too, by the way, because you want the Lord on your side. Okay, very important. But you do need to get out of that Amish system. You cannot live in that Amish system and expect to be right with God. It's not going to happen. So there's a salvation message coming up here at the end. If you haven't seen it yet from watching the other videos, please watch this one. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching.